This is part 4 of the Stoichiometry 101 series. In this video, we're going to look at solving mass A to mass B question. Here's the stoichiometry plan we'll be using. I've explained the plan in the first two videos, so do check them out if you haven't seen them. The link is on the top and in the description box below. So here's our question. Let's give it a read. We're given an equation and asked to find the mass of ammonia, NH3, that is formed from 32.0 grams of N2. So the first thing we need to do is find out what we have, and that's 32.0 grams of nitrogen, which is N2. And what does the question want? It's grams of ammonia, grams of NH3. Since we're dealing with two substances here, which is N2 and NH3, we'll call them A and B respectively. A is for what's given and B is for what we need to find. So our starting point is what we have and our ending point is what the question wants. So next we'll move on to tagging our start and end point on our stoichiometry plan. So our starting point is grams A and our ending point is grams B. Looking at the plan, it will take 3 steps to go from grams A to grams B. Before we begin setting up to solve the question, we need to first make sure that we have a balanced equation. So if you need a refresher on balancing equation, I'll link the video on the top, but it looks like we already have a balanced equation, so we're good to go. So we are now ready to set up the solution. In step 1, we'll go from grams A to moles A. And in step 2, we'll go from moles A to moles B. And in step 3, we'll go from moles B to grams B. So that's our plan. So step 1 is to divide the given mass, which is 32.0 grams, with the molar mass of A. A in this case is nitrogen. So that comes out to be 28.0 grams per mole. If you need a refresher on calculating molar mass, I'll link the video on the top. So what we do is we take 32.0 gram, divide by the molar mass, which is 28.0 grams per mole, and that gives us 1.1429 mole. What we just calculated is mole A, which is the mole of nitrogen. Moving on to step 2, we're supposed to multiply what we got from step 1 with the coefficient ratio. So from the balance equation, coefficient B is the number in front of ammonia, NH3, and that's 2. Coefficient A is the number in front of N2, and there's nothing in front of N2, so that means there's 1. So we take 1.1429 mole and multiply with 2 over 1, and that gives us 2.2858 mole. That is the mole of ammonia. So now we're done with step 2, moving on to step 3. So in the third and final step, we need to multiply what we got from step 2 with the molar mass of B, which is 17.031 grams per mole for ammonia. Notice, when we calculated the molar mass in step 1, it was for N2. When we calculate the molar mass for step 3, it's for NH3. Since we're going from mole of NH3 to grams of NH3, naturally, we need to use the molar mass of NH3. So we take 2.2858 and multiply with 17.031 and we get 38.9 grams. That's the grams of NH3, which is what the question wants us to find. To recap, we start off by reading the question and figuring out the information that we have and what the question wants us to find. Then we figure out the pathway using the plan. Before we proceed, if the question involves two substances, A and B, then we need to make sure that our equation is balanced. If the equation is not given, but the reaction is given, then we need to write out the equation and then balance it. And once we got that sorted out, we follow the setup and we solve the problem. So you can successfully solve practically any stoichiometric questions this way. For more examples, watch out for more videos in this Stoichiometry 101 series. Hope the video was helpful. Do subscribe and thanks for watching.